I have the ringer of right-wing cope for you today, just the slew of ways that Fox News is coping with the start of this hush money and ultimately 2016 election interference case that started with the jury selection on Monday for the failed former President Donald Trump, as it seems that they're already preparing for it to be a loss. So let's start with Greg Gutfeld comparing this to an NDA. Quick break from the video. I am very excited to announce for anyone who enjoys the content and would love to help the channel, we have memberships available for as low as $3 a month. I mean, the only way we become a society is together, right? For just $3 a month, you can tremendously aid us in growing and putting out increasingly more engaging content. If you would like to find out more about that, including the exclusive perks that memberships get, including members only posts, getting videos early, I will leave a link to that in the description. Thank you very much for all the support, and back to the video.
I wonder how many men and women in the media are cheering this hush money charge, have signed non-disclosure agreements, which are exactly the same thing.
Just because we talk a lot about logical fallacies on this channel, I want to point out that this is a false equivalency. For this to be true, she would have had to agree to terms and sign prior to any sexual relationship with Trump. And I think him hiding an affair he had while married during an election where super religious evangelicals are a large part of the base you're relying on to win is a bit different than someone signing an NDA to get a job at a media company.
Yeah, he is helping. Did you see, I mean, we always show that video of them both at the border, and we show the video side by side on the screen. And Joe Biden is barely walking.
Holding on to the border, Chief.
Exactly, exactly. And Donald Trump is walking very fast, very briskly, shaking hands with all the Border Patrol agents.
At this point, this is what they have left to focus on. Well, Trump's faster than Biden, so if it came down to a race, my money's on Trump, and that's why we've got to vote him in. He'll be rushing to pass that legislation. Like, who cares about the fraud or the sexual assault or the 81 charges? It doesn't matter. It's about who walks faster. I personally think all that baggage might hold them back, though. Who knows? You know, when you're hyper fixating on nonsense like this, it's because you have no policy, no agenda to stand on that wouldn't make you more unpopular than you already are. I personally think that the disaster of overturning Roe v. Wade and what that has done to Republicans will go down in the history books, stamped with Donald Trump's name on it front and center.
There have been 7 jurors that have now been selected for this trial. Jury selection is very important. The jury pool, I would argue, is not particularly favorable. The venue is not particularly favorable for Donald Trump. So let's go. I'll put it up on the screen. If we can look at, for example, the first person to be picked, a male from West Harlem, originally from Ireland, likes anything outdoors, gets news from the New York Times, the Daily Mail, Fox News, MSDNC.
This is actually kind of scary that they would put up the profile of a juror like this. Decoding Fox News on Twitter, who watches Fox habitually and has for years, said that she hasn't seen them do this for any other high-profile trial for anyone ever. It seems like a subtle, but not so very subtle way of intimidating jurors into thinking you're going to be harassed if you go against Trump. Why they're even allowed to broadcast this kind of information is beyond me, but the constant thing you see with these people is them preempting their loss. Oh, it'll be an unfair arena. Oh, the juror selection would never be favorable. Oh, it's like an NDA, which everyone else does. It's because they have to plant the seeds now to be able to justify them later. If they were confident they were going to win, they would be going about this in a completely different way. It would be a much more bravado and confidence. Oh, we're about to win this case and show you how wrong you were and But because of when they lose, they won't be able to preemptively justify that the same way they are now. You know, it's going to be like, oh, well, we were wrong, but, you know, it looks a lot worse then. And it's kind of giving cowardice to me. But let's end the video on a good note. A former Trump aide speaking the truth on what Trump and his administration truly represents.
He says she's a smart guy. He wants to be in the axis of autocracy. He wants to be the North American autocrat. He has caught on tape saying, hey, I want these people to get up and cheer for me the way they cheer for Kim Il-jung. Okay, so I'm not making this up. You see, so if I'm on Twitter, people will say, which makes me laugh, they say, I'm a never Trumper. Excuse me? I worked for Donald Trump, so I was once a Trumper. Can't call me a never Trumper.
Yes, that's
then
true.
You say, I have Trump derangement syndrome. Excuse me? I have Trump reality syndrome.
I think this is the best way you could put it. No matter who you are, they're going to try to discredit anyone who won't buy into their cult. If you're on the left, it's, oh, well, you're a Democrat, typical Democrat. If you're a Republican, it's, you must have been a rhino. You were never a Republican. You're a never Trumper. Even people with strong Republican values like Mitt Romney, who was a presidential nominee, or Mike Pence. And the last straw is the completely made up Trump derangement syndrome, which, small rant, I think it's hilarious how MAGA runs with this as if it's a real thing and not just how much proof of their personality just being morphed by whatever Trump says. Like, Trump said that once because it sounded better than him having no answer or argument for all the accusations against him. And now right-wingers have made it such a large part of their rhetoric and defense and just personality to pretend it's like a real syndrome that they can chalk up any hate to and act as if it's just a real justification. Like, if you come at them with facts about Trump, they can just say Trump derangement syndrome, and to them, in their reality, it's like a real thing. But exactly like that, right? I think if it were a thing, it would describe them. People who believe every word Trump says, no matter what, morphs their personality to embody him. They wear flags. They put their kids in his merch. They wear their merch of their own. They have signs up. They'll paint their cars with his face on it. If you ask me, that's about as Trump deranged as you can get. If you enjoyed this video, we're Social Society. We're a commentary channel influenced by politics, society, and the economy. We are pretty left-leaning on this channel, but we're open to our right-wingers as well. The biggest thing here is having conversations that get everyone to the bottom of the truth. If that sounds like something that could interest you, consider smashing that subscribe button, leaving us a like, or even commenting on this video. We even have memberships available as low as $3 if you'd like to support, because the only way we become a society is together.